Assalamu alaikum. Faizul again. Today is day 2. Today we will talk about creating managers and others. To give you a brief, what we did before is to create the model classes from the database, which is located at in my server, which is MagicBox Basis, and the database name is School Management DB. Okay. So I will create another class library for the manager. The name should be School Management manager. So if you don't know what the manager means, is manager is a standard class type which manages the passing of the data between the models and the UI. So let's create a manager class and we'll name it as student manager. Let's do it as a public. Okay. So it's a plain simple class library. Here we will create 4 different methods. Sorry, 3. For adding and updating, there is 1. For deleting, 2, and for delete, create, update. That's all. Let's do it and select number 3. So if you press Ctrl, it will create your constructor. Now this EDMX file is responsible for connecting with the total database, and it replicates the models as the tables of the database. For example, in here you can see the student.cs. It's a plain class, C# class, but it is representing the table of the database. The table name is student. So if we create list of student, that will represent the student table, and the total EDMX file represents the total database. So if you want to create a object or an object of this EDMX, that object in theoretically will represent you the total database. So a single database has student table, so this object should have a students. We will see that, but get the idea. I have a presentation about it. Let me download it for you. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so this is a database. This has dbo.student. Student is our table, and each of the table has a row, some rows. So each row equals an student class or student object. Here it is. The total student table equals the list of student, and the total database represents the DB context or the object of our EDMX. I hope it's quite self-explanatory. So the next question, how would we instantiate the EDMX? Well, it's very simple. in the app config you will see the school management DB entities. Copy it and paste it. Since we are in a different class library, so we need to add the DLL of the reference of that EDMX. I will name it as a DB equals to new, and I will just add the reference. Okay, for those who don't know about it, ReSharper gives me the suggestions. So if I want to see the suggestion, I will press Alt or Enter. It opens the suggestion at the left side. Alternatively, you can also just go to this icon and click it. Since I'm habituated with the keyboard shortcuts, so I do these kinds of stuff. So next I will split it and I will move it to, no, not here, no problem. Cut, paste. Okay, so our DB context, which is this, is created. See this reference? Okay, now let's create public void add. Here we will add the student model. It will take a student. So my question is, what should we write here? Get the list of the database student, add the student into that list, save. So db dot students gives you the student list or collection or whatever we can say. This is plural type. So students dot add, I will add our new student here, and the last one we will save the database, right? So db dot save changes. This will add a student into the database. That's it. To make you more comfortable, I am deleting the comments. Okay. Similarly, public void delete, we will add here integer ID, and I will not create the variable again, just see what I do. Students dot first. What we mean by first? First means, okay, let's do it in another way. Plain link from db dot students, db dot students where student dot ID equals my ID, select student, and we will encapsulate it, and we will take the first or default if there is any, and we also create a new variable like this. Student, let's create it as S. Okay, Please see what I do when I started learning about the LINQ and the lambda expressions. I heavily used ReSharper. So if you can see, I clicked on the first or default and go to the ReSharper suggestion, in the student, and see what does it gives me. Suggestion, it says me convert LINQ to method chain. Let's click it and see. It gives me a pure method, LINQ method. We will optimize it more. Click, not this way. Let's remove. Okay, now it understands. It has alternative method which gives you the previous 3 or 4 lines of code. This method is self-explanatory. First or default, give me the first or default student whose ID is our provided ID, and now I can name it as a student. Sorry, I can't because here's the variable anyway. So if s not equals to null, we'll delete it. From where we will delete? db dot students dot remove, and it takes the student entity. We'll put s here, and what should we do? db dot save changes. Save it. So before working on it, let's see how many data do we have. Right click, show table data. There is none. So what we did here is create a manager class which calls this model class, and it creates and deletes a new student and delete the student from the database according to the ID. So let's finish it from here. In the third video we will talk about the web API to manage the database. Thank you for watching.